we are going to get my husband's friend, J.D. Vance, elected for 48 in the most resounding way possible.
Shockwaves ripped through political and online circles when reports surfaced that J.D. Vance had allegedly cut off all contact with Erika Kirk after explosive Nsfw texts and private tapes were leaked by her ex. What looked like a quiet association suddenly turned into a public fallout filled with disgust, damage control, and unanswered questions. Was Vance truly unaware of Erika's past, or did the leaks force a line he could no longer ignore? As screenshots spread, reactions intensified, and silence spoke louder than statements. Tonight's story unpacks the people involved, the alleged evidence, and why this moment could permanently change every relationship connected to this scandal. The title, J.D. Vance cuts off Erika Kirk after leaked Nsfw texts and tapes by her ex. He's disgusted immediately frames three central figures: J.D. Vance, Erika Kirk, and Erika's unnamed ex. Each plays a distinct role in a controversy driven by alleged leaks, reputational risk, and public reaction. J.D. Vance is a high-profile political figure, widely recognized for his conservative values, public family image, and emphasis on personal responsibility. Because of that image, any association with explicit controversy carries heavier consequences. Erika Kirk, on the other hand, exists largely in online political drama spaces, where her name has surfaced repeatedly through claims, counterclaims, and viral allegations. Her ex, positioned as the source of the leaks, becomes the catalyst whose actions trigger everything that follows, according to circulating reports. The controversy began when explicit text messages and alleged private recordings started appearing across multiple social platforms. Accounts on X and Telegram claimed the materials were shared by Erika Kirk's former partner, Allegedly, in retaliation after a personal fallout. While the authenticity of every item has not been legally verified, the speed at which screenshots and clips spread created an immediate public perception problem. Hashtags like hashtag Erika Kirk, hashtag Nsfw leaks, and hashtag political scandal began trending within hours, pulling in commentators, critics, and opportunistic creators looking for engagement. J.D. Vance's name entered the narrative because of his previously rumored connection to Erika Kirk, though never formally confirmed. Online speculation suggested communication or proximity that, in political terms, was enough to raise eyebrows. Once the Nsfw material went viral, commentators began questioning whether Vance had prior knowledge of Erika's past and whether continued association could damage his credibility. In political branding, perception often outweighs proof, and that reality shaped the response. Sources close to the situation claimed that Vance was disgusted by the nature of the leaked content. That word, repeated across headlines and captions, carries strategic weight. Disgust signals moral distance. It communicates not only rejection of the material, but rejection of the person associated with it. By allegedly cutting off Erika Kirk completely, Vance sends a message to supporters that boundaries exist and lines were crossed. For a politician whose base values traditional family standards, silence or ambiguity could have been interpreted as complicity. Erika Kirk's position became increasingly precarious as the narrative solidified around her. Supporters argued that leaked private material, if real, represents a violation of consent and privacy. They framed her as a victim of revenge, exposure, emphasizing that an ex releasing intimate content is itself ethically wrong. Critics countered by questioning patterns, pointing to previous controversies attached to her name, and suggesting the leaks merely confirmed long-standing suspicions. This split response highlights how online audiences often choose sides before facts are fully established. The ex-boyfriend, though unnamed in many reports, functions as the accelerant. His alleged role in releasing the texts and tapes raises legal and moral questions. In many jurisdictions, distributing explicit material without consent can carry serious consequences. Yet in the court of public opinion, legal nuance often loses to spectacle. Screenshots become proof, captions become verdicts, and creators amplify outrage for clicks. Accounts tagging at JDVANCE and using hashtag exposed aimed to force acknowledgement, ensuring the story stayed unavoidable. Vance's alleged decision to sever ties can also be understood as crisis management. Political careers are built on controlled narratives. Once an uncontrollable element enters the frame, especially one tied to sexuality and explicit content, advisors typically recommend immediate distancing. Cutting off communication, declining comment, and allowing the news cycle to move on are standard containment strategies. Whether or not Vance had deeper involvement becomes secondary to maintaining brand insulation. Erika Kirk attempted to respond indirectly through sympathetic voices online. Some posts suggested she was being unfairly targeted, while others hinted at manipulation by her ex. However, without a clear centralized statement, the void filled quickly with speculation. In viral scandals, absence of narrative control often results in others writing the story for you. Influencers, reaction channels, and commentary pages filled timelines with breakdowns, theories, and dramatic thumbnails, further entrenching the controversy. The phrase "cuts off" implies finality, suggests not just a pause, but a decisive end. For audiences, this creates emotional closure, a clear villain, a clear reaction, and a moral conclusion. Yet real situations are rarely that simple. Behind closed doors, legal teams assess exposure. Communications teams craft language, and personal emotions collide with public obligations. What the audience sees is the polished outcome, not the chaotic process behind it. Social media dynamics also played a crucial role. Algorithms reward outrage and explicit intrigue. As engagement climbed, platforms pushed the content further, ensuring that even users unfamiliar with Erika Kirk or JD Vance were suddenly introduced to the scandal. This amplification effect transforms private disputes into global conversations. Hashtags like hashtag JD Vance, hashtag Erika Kirk scandal, and hashtag leaked texts linked thousands of posts into a single, inescapable feed. For JD Vance, the long-term impact depends on how quickly the controversy decays. Political audiences often have short memories if no further evidence emerges. By acting decisively, he positions himself as reactive rather than complicit. For Erika Kirk, however, digital footprints linger. Search results, thumbnails, and reaction videos can follow a person indefinitely, shaping perception long after the moment passes. That asymmetry of consequence is a recurring theme in online scandals. Ultimately, this story reflects a larger pattern in modern media: the collision of private behavior, alleged or real, with public life. When personal relationships intersect with political branding, the fallout expands exponentially. Whether the leaked materials withstand scrutiny or fade into rumor, the reaction itself has already reshaped reputations. As audiences continue to debate, share, and comment, the line between accountability and exploitation remains blurred, leaving all involved navigating a landscape where perception is power and silence is rarely neutral. If you want clear, structured breakdowns of viral political drama without missing context, make sure to support the channel now. Like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a major update. Drop your thoughts respectfully in the comments. Do you think distancing was the right move, or should allegations always be handled differently? Share this video with friends who follow online scandals and political news. Follow us across platforms using hashtag political drama and tag at JD Vance and relevant discussions to keep the conversation going. Your engagement helps us analyze deeper, stay consistent, and bring you stories that matter every single time.